All right, let's get into it. My top 5 tips for staying healthy during isolation. Okay, so it probably doesn't come as too much of a surprise to you, but number 1 is definitely eating well. All right, so like we talked about on Friday with Henri, now is really not the time to crash diet. It's not the time to put yourself into like severe calorie deficit because that puts our immune system under stress and under pressure. So everyone's kind of really stressed about gaining weight at the moment and coming out of this in a really bad place physically. And I guess that's because I work with a lot of athletes, and so like fitness and health and body composition is quite key to performance for them. So they are a bit afraid of like undoing all their hard work at the start of this season at the end of this, because training is a bit more difficult at the moment. Ali said, oh, sorry, she didn't have a photo. That's okay. It's all good. Oops, I just flipped Insta. Hold on. Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to have to stop looking at these comments for a second. Good morning, Carmel Ryan. All right, I'm going to ignore comments so I can get through this. Otherwise, we will be here for like 2 hours. All right, and I want to fly through this because I figure everyone's got about a half an hour sort of morning tea break or something. So we're just going to try and bang it out, give you some good practical advice, and then you can continue on with your day. Okay, so yeah, definitely not the time to crash diet. I think your goal around body composition at the moment should be just around maintenance, okay? Try and aim to maintain right now and focus on eating really well. So number 1 is eating well. And there's a few key things to do that in terms of supporting your immune system. So we know that there's not like one single food or nutrient or supplement that is going to help you fight off colds or infections or coronavirus. It is really about the balance of eating a wide variety of things so that you're getting all of those nutrients that you need. So a couple of key nutrients to help with your immune system would be vitamin A, vitamin C, E, B6, and then also zinc, iron, magnesium. They're all really key at the moment and key as part of our immune system. So we want to just make sure that we're not deficient in any of them. Iron is quite a common nutrient deficiency, particularly in more of an athletic population. So that's definitely something that we want to be focusing on getting enough of at the moment. So people that are at risk of low iron would be like growing bodies, females, because you lose iron each month with menstrual losses, and then endurance athletes. So we actually bleed through our gut a little bit every time we exercise. And so the longer you exercise for, the more you do, the more iron you lose through your gut. And then you also burst open your red blood cells every time you strike your heel on the pavement. So that heel strike, it's called heel strike hemolysis. It bursts open your red blood cells when you go running. And that is a big loss of iron as well. So those sorts of people are at higher risk of having low iron. If you, excuse me, this is the bubbly water, bad idea. Those people are at higher risk of having low iron. So you just need to be way more aware of it and keep on top of it. So like that's something that a sports dietitian can help you with, is how to make sure that you're monitoring your iron levels and then also making sure you're getting enough in your day. Okay, so I don't think you need to take a supplement or a multivitamin or anything like that at the moment. What you need to be focusing on to eat well is just getting a whole range of foods and getting your 2 serves of fruit and 5 serves of vegetables in every day. Okay, it's not very sexy advice, but we know that only 6% of Australians get enough of their fruit and veggie serves every day, which is just insane. Like, it's not that difficult with a bit of education and starting to think about it. But yeah, only 6% of Aussies actually eat enough fruit and veggies every day. So as part of the Stay Healthy During Isolation course, I'm going to teach you exactly what a serve is so you know, and then I give you an actual meal plan template that shows you how to get your 2 serves of fruit and 5 serves of veggies in every day. So with a bit of education, it's easy, but just to start off with, people who think, like I have a lot of clients that are like, yeah, I eat heaps of veggies, and then You go through what a serve is and show them how to do that, and then they end up doubling their intake to try and get to 5 serves of veggies every day because they thought they were doing a good job, but they actually weren't. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And then your goal is to get your 2 fruit, 5 veggies in every single day. Like now it's so key to do that. And then I'd encourage you to continue that beyond as well. Like create a habit around doing that every day. Now, the other thing that I teach you in the Stay Healthy During Isolation course is how to build a healthy plate, okay? And that's so that you can focus on eating for health and then maximal nutrient density too. And that's going to help support your immune system as well if you're doing that, okay? So that I'm going to teach you exactly what that plate model looks like and then show you how to do it. And then I talk a little bit also about kind of how to manipulate it depending on exercise, but that's certainly not... it's not a key strategy right now, but it's just trying to build your plate in the best way possible, focusing on that for lunches, dinners, and then making sure that your snacks are nice and well balanced as well. So as part of the course, I'm not going to give it away now, but I give you my healthy snack formula. And that shows you, like now, while everyone's kind of snacking more, and snacking is just like snacking is life currently. Everyone's kind of procrastinating by looking in the cupboard or in the fridge all the time because you just need a bit of a brain break from the computer or a change of environment. So people are definitely snacking more at the moment, and the sales of snacks sort of foods have gone up, but the sales of like nibbly, biscuity, chips, popcorny sort of things have gone up. And I want to give you my formula for how to actually build a healthy snack in a way that's going to help support your immune system the most. So you get that as part of module 1 of the Stay Healthy During Isolation course, which you get access to straight away. All right, so that's number 1. My number 1 tip for staying healthy during isolation is eating well. Okay, and there's a wide variety of things that you need to be focusing on, but just making sure that we're not deficient in anything, we're getting plenty of fruits and vegetables, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm not going to just be like, go and do this, go eat 2 fruit, 5 veggies, see you later, good luck. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, what a serve is, and then how to build your plate real estate so that you can actually implement that straight away. Like tomorrow you could be doing that. So one of the healthy snack suggestions that I've got for you is my savoury muffins, which is why we're cooking those together tomorrow. Yay! Okay, so number 1, and I guess that's my big focus too as a dietitian. Ali Ryan said snackcidents. Yes, that's a good way of saying lots of sort of nibbly eating going on at the moment. And Carmel said, is iron kids worse for runners than cyclists? Oh, loss, not kids. Is iron loss worse for runners than cyclists? So because of the heel strikes hemolysis, yes. But you still lose blood through your gut with cycling, and particularly longer, intense cycling. So you don't have that heel strikes hemolysis loss, but you still have the other, like you're a female, you're an endurance athlete, and you still, lose iron in your gut when you exercise. So you're still at a higher risk group, Carmel. All right, number 2, exercising regularly. Okay, now, again, at the moment, like gyms are closed, pools are closed. We can't kind of do all the things that we would normally do. We can't do group training. So everyone's kind of exercise routine and structure has gone out the window a little bit, and people have adapted really quickly. So doing things like tether swimming, doing home workouts and stuff like that. But it's still really important that you're exercising regularly at the moment, even if motivation is really low, because regular exercise is great for our immune system. Now, as part of the course, I talk you through exactly what type of exercise is good at the moment and how to best support that with nutrition, because we know that overtraining or doing like really long, prolonged, intense sessions actually lowers your resistance to infection. So it makes your risk of getting sick higher. So we want to be careful with sessions like that. And if you are doing training like that for whatever reason, then I'm going to teach you how to support that best with nutrition so that our immune system isn't compromised. Okay, so like moderate intensity exercise and regular moderate intensity exercise is really good for our immune system. It actually helps increase our resistance to getting sick. But it's the higher intensity and prolonged stuff that does actually blunt your immune system. So we just need to be careful with training like that at the moment. And then if you are doing it, then you need to be supporting it properly with nutrition. Okay, so there's certain strategies around that that can help support that rather than just do the damage to your immune system, because it is damaged for a while afterwards. Okay, so if that happens to coincide with you, I don't know, going to the shops or accidentally kind of getting in contact with somebody with coronavirus, then we want your immune system to be as robust as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go through that in the course. I'm not going to talk through that now. We're not going to go too deep into that science now. But there's certainly strategies that you can implement to support nutrition, like support exercise with nutrition for immune health at the moment. All right, good morning, Try It Chick. How are you? Okay, is there anything happening on the book? Cameron Barrett's joined. Good morning, buddy. All right. Okay, so that was number 1, eating well. Number 2, exercising regularly and just keeping some structure and routine around that. And we're going to talk about more of that on Wednesday. And then number 3 is keeping your gut microbes happy. Okay, so we know that 70% of our immune system is in the gut, which is amazing. It's so cool. And we're learning more and more about that as time goes on too. So we only know like surface level of that sort of stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of research happening in that area at the moment, which makes me super excited, but you guys probably aren't as excited as me around that. But your immune system in your gut, like it actually forms a physical barrier to stop the bad guys getting in, and things like alcohol can actually affect that barrier. And well, we talk about that in the course as well. There's a whole module on alcohol. Sorry, Catherine. Which it's not me saying, the alcohol module is not me saying you can't ever drink ever again and you shouldn't drink. It's around education around drinking and how it affects your immune system. And then I'm going to give you some guidelines and some strategies for managing drinking. Because we know that it really affects our immune system. It affects your gut immune system, and it also affects the immune system, like blocking bad guys that come in, that you breathe in too, through your upper respiratory tract and also your lungs. So we know that alcohol does that, and in a time right now where we know that people are drinking more. Actually, I have some stats here that I was looking at the other day. So 70% of Australians are drinking more than usual currently. Like, that just astounds me. And, you know, there's a number of reasons why people are drinking more. If you've got any particular reasons why you're drinking more, let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear them. But I think a big one is boredom. Like, there's nothing else to do, so why not drink? There's also probably a fair bit of sort of stress and anxiety drinking happening at the moment as a way to sort of manage that. And then I think a lot of parents are being led to drink a little more at the moment too, because they're at home with kids and trying to homeschool and balance that with working from home. So there's certainly lots of reasons why people are drinking more at the moment. But I guess just a word of caution on that is that it does affect your immune system. And in the course, I explain to you exactly how, and then give you some strategies for how to manage your intake of alcohol at the moment too. Because, yeah, like compared to last year, so the sales of alcohol in those last weeks of March skyrocketed. They went up by 36%, the spending, compared to this time last year. And that kind of coincided with pubs and bars closing. So it may not be a true representation, but like, yeah, people kind of panic bought alcohol because they thought alcohol places were going to close, but they didn't, because, you know, it's an essential service. All right, so we need to keep our gut microbes happy, and part of that is trying to manage alcohol intake, because they do they do provide that protective barrier against bad guys getting in through getting in. I just dropped my water. Bad guys getting in through your gut, and also bad guys getting in through your lungs. So if that barrier is damaged, then it also means that we stop digesting and absorbing nutrients as well and efficiently as we could. So it's kind of double-edged sword there. You're letting bad guys in, and then we're not maximally getting as much nutrition out of our food in a time where we need to be getting as much nutrition out of our food as possible. So I'm going to give you some, well, there's a whole module on alcohol to help you manage that. And then there's also a whole module on gut health and immunity, which is such an exciting area of research as a dietitian. But we're going to talk about exactly the best foods to support your immune system, what you should be eating more of at the moment to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck out of your food. All right, so that was number 3, keep your gut microbes happy. Now, good morning, Elsa the nutritionist. Hello from Panama, welcome. That is crazy. All right, so there's nothing happening on Facebook, we'll keep moving on. So number 1, eat well. Number 2, exercising regularly. Number 3, keep your gut microbes happy. And number 4, which I won't go too much into detail of, is keeping some routine and some structure. We're going to talk about that for half an hour on Wednesday, but I think we need some strategies to keep some structure in your day at the moment. And we're going to talk about the concept of anchors. Now, if you've done anything on that before, you'll know what I mean, but anchors is just basically something that links you to an activity or a behavior. So when we're in our normal routine, we have heaps of anchors in our day. Like when you're going into the office, you might catch public transport, or you might go and get a coffee at a certain place. And these are all anchors that link you into the work environment. So you might be putting certain clothes on or putting makeup on. And so that kind of helps you lead into your work day. And so we need to kind of create some of those now when we're potentially not, catching public transport or driving to work or going to our favorite coffee shop on the way in to work. That none of those regular anchors are happening. So it's about creating new anchors to keep that structure and routine in the day. So we're going to talk about all of that on Wednesday, which I'm a bit of a nerdy organizational fiend. So that excites me a lot. And I think people like Catherine will be excited by that. But some of you may want to tap out on Wednesday, which is fine. All right, so that was number 4. Now, number 5, key for your immune system is sleep. Okay, and we know that people aren't sleeping as well at the moment for a number of reasons. And so some of the reasons could just be like stress and anxiety. And even though we kind of feel more exhausted at the moment, I know people are feeling more exhausted because for no reason, we're not doing as much, we're not exercising as much, we're not going anywhere, we don't have that same busyness to our days. But that can be quite exhausting as well, not having, energy promotes energy in a way. When you go from not doing any exercise to doing exercise, you feel so much more energetic. And triathletes and Ironman athletes who do multiple hours of training in a day or a week are just like energizer bunnies, right? They just keep going because energy promotes energy. And so if we don't have that same sort of energetic vibe, we're not doing those same sort of things, then we kind of feel way more tired and fatigued, even though we're not doing as much. So sleep is so key at the moment for our immune system, because we know that lack of sleep makes us more susceptible to getting colds and flus and getting sick. And lack of sleep is also linked with poor food choices. So kind of double benefit for getting enough sleep there is making better food choices so that we're eating well, and then also keeping your immune system as supported as possible. So there was one study that showed that having less than 6 hours of sleep quadrupled your risk of getting a cold. Just crazy stats. So I'm a big advocate of sleep. If you've been a long time follower, then you'll know that I am a big sleep advocate for a number of reasons: for weight management, for exercise performance, for your immune system. And so there's a whole module on the Stay Healthy course around sleep and how much you need based on the evidence. And then I go through specific strategies on how to get better sleep. And that kind of is key for the moment, like at the moment. So it kind of links back to the anchors thing. We need to kind of create some anchors and some pathways towards sleep that you would have had before. You would have had some sort of structure and rhythm around that. And it's just recreating that for now. So creating some anchors around getting to sleep. And I don't feel like I don't think you should be proud of, be like, yeah, I can function on 5 hours sleep. Like, I don't think that is where your mentality should be. It should be around trying to get more sleep and getting better quality sleep. So it's about quantity, but it's also about quality. So you could be in bed for like 9 or 10 hours and just have a really shit night's sleep, and that's not going to help either. Like, that still doesn't support our immune system. So it's quantity, but also quality. So I'm going to give you some specific tips on how to actually get that better quality sleep so that your immune system is supported as possible. All right. Who have we got on Insta? Feed Your Future. Welcome. There's heaps of dietitians on here again. What's happening on the book? Good morning, Jade. All right, guys. So that is my top 5 tips for staying healthy during isolation. So just a quick recap. Number 1, eating well. Number 2, exercising regularly. Number 3 is making sure your gut microbes are super happy. And then number 4 is structure and routine. And number 5 is sleep and getting the best sleep possible. So good quality, but also good quantity. So as part of my Stay Healthy During Isolation course, I'm basically going to tick off all these things for you. So there's a module on like the foundations of healthy eating, which we're going to talk about, like the fruits and vegetables that you need and how to get them and how much, how to build your healthy plate. It's a whole module on snacking so that we can prevent what did you call it, Ali? Snack accidents or something, snackcidents, which is a good one. I'll have to try and go back and weave that through the course somehow, snackcidents. Hilarious. So healthy eating, we're going to talk about healthy snacking. I'm going to also show you how to read a nutrition label. I think it's a mad skill that not many people have. It's quite confusing. So I sent my husband out for peanut butter that was just peanuts the other day, and he came back with one that said it was 100% Australian peanuts, but if you actually look at the label, it was peanuts with some added salt as well. So you just need some skills to be able to read labels to decipher all that marketing bullcrap, because it obviously made him buy it because he's like, yeah, it's 100% Australian peanuts, but it's not actually 100% peanuts, the product. So that is definitely a skill I think you need now more than ever when there's a lot of packaged foods being eaten. But I think it's a skill that you can take with you forever. So it's not wasted time. So instead of finishing Netflix, I think you should focus on like trying to put some of the foundations of healthy eating into your life at the moment. So that's the first 3 modules. We're going to talk about alcohol. We're going to talk about exercise. We're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about gut health and immunity, which is a pretty exciting one. So there's loads in that course. It gets drip fed over sort of 6 to 7 weeks. So you get 1 module drop in each week, and you get access to the first module straight away. So you can jump straight into that healthy eating stuff and put that into place like tomorrow. Now, for those of you that are on here, the cost of the course is $297. But I'm going to give you a discount code to get $200 off. So if you use the code COVID-19, I know, right? Clever. The code COVID-19 gives you $200 off the course, so it's only $97. Because I don't want cost to be a barrier at the moment. I'd rather you have this information than not have it. But I also know that if it was free, you wouldn't do it. So there is a financial investment to get it, because I know that you'll actually go through it and do it if you've paid for it. Okay, so that's why it's not a free course, because the chances of you downloading it for free and then not doing it are much higher if it's free. So I've taken a huge $200 off to give that to you, because I don't feel like financially it shouldn't be a barrier right now. So I'll link in the Facebook feed the link to get it, and then you need to use the code COVID-19 to get $200 off. All right. So I'm pretty excited. Henri said, this is exciting, Taryn. Love your work. Thank you for everything you do for the community. Oh, thanks, Henri. Makes it all worthwhile, hey? My computer screen's slipping down because my spy belt is weighing it down. Okay, and I think Henri just said so clever for maybe my discount code being COVID-19. I just thought that was funny. All right, guys, so that's my top 5 tips for staying healthy during isolation. I'm going to post this replay up. It'll be on Instagram TV. It'll be on Facebook, and I'll post it on the Dietitian Approved YouTube channel, so you can watch it back again if you need to. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's good to have a conversation with other people in a time like this, even though I feel like I'm talking to myself a little bit. But I hope that's helped. I hope you've written down those 5 things. And then don't forget, for the rest of the week, we're just going to keep going on some practical things that you can do right now to stay healthy and look after your immune system. So tomorrow we're going to make my savoury muffins together, which actually give you 1 vegetable serve per muffin. So it's a really good way to maximise some nutrition in your life, and a good healthy snack that you've made yourself without having to open a packet. The only thing that you might struggle with at the moment, which I've struggled with, is trying to buy some wholemeal flour. All the flour is gone in the supermarkets at the moment because everyone's kind of doing a bit of ISO baking. So hopefully you can get that. Otherwise, you should be okay with the rest of the ingredients. And yeah, super quick, super easy. We should be done, if we don't wait for the cook, we should be done in sort of 20 to 30 minutes. So 10:30 tomorrow, we're going to cook together, and then hopefully we can share a savoury muffin together all around the world, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining me live, and I'll see you tomorrow.